Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss continuation of last video. Chemical properties of 16th group elements. What are 16th group elements? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. These are the 16th group element. Last video we discussed about the physical properties and periodic properties of 16th group elements. Now we'll discuss chemical properties of 16th group elements. Okay, here so many chemical properties are there. In that way we'll see reaction with hydrogen, reaction with oxygen, reaction with hydrogen, reaction with oxygen, and reaction with halogen. We'll see these three chemical properties. First we'll see the reaction with hydrogen. Okay, 16th group elements. Okay, here I am taking M as a 16th group elements, reaction with hydrogen, and form H2M type 16th group, H2M type hydrides. H2M type hydrides. Okay, example for this: H2O, H2S, H2Se, H2Te, H2PO. Okay, this is hydrogen oxide, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenide, hydrogen telluride, hydrogen poluride. Okay, all these are the hydrides of 16th group elements. Okay, 16th group element. But we consider here oxide. Why we called oxide here? Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Okay, here we'll see the acidic nature of these hydrides. Acidic nature. Which has more acidic nature? Acidic nature of the molecule depends on bond enthalpy of that particular molecule. Okay, bond enthalpy gradually decreases from oxygen to polonium. So acidic nature increases. Acidic nature gradually increases. Okay, from water to polonium. That means hydrogen sulfide more acidic than water, hydrogen selenide more acidic than H2S, like that. And one more thing here, one important sentence is there: hydrogen oxide, that means water. The UPSC name of water is oxidane. Okay, here water is liquid and H2S is gas. Why? Water is liquid, H2S is gas, but both are belongs to one group. Okay, due to the more electronegativity of oxygen, okay, water molecule involves in intermolecular hydrogen bonding. But not H2S. That's why H2S is gas. Okay, water is liquid. Why water is liquid? It involves in intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, here I wanted to explain the hydrogen bonding. Okay, this is the hydrogen bonding between two water molecules. This is the dotted lines or curved line or dotted line. Okay, dotted line indicates very weak attraction forces between two molecules. That means hydrogen bond. What is the meaning of hydrogen bond? The very weak attraction forces between hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, this hydrogen should be attached to the highly electronegative oxygen. Highly electronegative atom or highly electronegative oxygen atom. Okay, here we indicated here dotted lines. Dotted line means weak bond. This we called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, the hydrogen bonding between two different molecules or two same molecules, we called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. What is the meaning of intramolecular hydrogen bonding? Intramolecular hydrogen bonding means The hydrogen bonding within the molecule, we called as intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Here, acidic nature gradually increases due to bond enthalpy. Okay, this is about the reaction with hydrogen. Then we'll discuss one more reaction with oxygen. 16th group, one of the atom oxygen belongs to 16th group. Remaining elements, due to the less electronegativity of these four elements than oxygen, all these four elements reacts with the oxygen and form their oxides. We'll discuss some oxides here. Here I want to discuss some oxides. Reaction with oxygen. 16th group elements. Here I am taking M as the 16th group elements. It reacts with oxygen and form two types of oxides. MO2 type dioxides, MO3 type trioxides. MO2 type dioxides and MO3 type trioxides. MO2 dioxide, MO3 trioxide. Here example for dioxides: sulfur dioxide, selenium dioxide, tellurium dioxide, polonium dioxide. Trioxide means sulfur trioxide, and here selenium trioxide, tellurium trioxide and polonium trioxide. These are the different oxides. All these oxides, sulfur trioxide and sulfur trioxide, sulfur dioxide, selenium dioxide, selenium trioxides, all are having acidic nature. But acidic nature decreases from sulfur to polonium. Acidic nature decreases from sulfur to polonium due to increasing in the atomic size. By increasing the atomic size, basic nature increases, acidic nature decreases. Here sulfur dioxide and sulfur dioxide, good acidic oxides. These are the good acidic oxides. Why these good acidic oxides? When sulfur dioxide dissolved in a water, forms here, here sulfurous acid, H2SO3, we called as sulfurous acid. Here sulfur trioxide dissolved in a water and forms H2SO4, sulfuric acid. These are the strong acids. So these are the here more strength oxides. And here the sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide and selenium trioxide, these are the some of the oxides of 16th group elements, acts as a oxidizing agents. These are oxidizing agents. Oxidizing agent. These are the important discussion of the 16th group elements reaction with oxygen. Then in continuation we'll see the reaction with halogen. 16th group elements reaction with halogen and forms two types of halides. Mainly two types of halides. One is MX4 type tetrahalides, MX6 type hexahalides. MX4 type tetrahalides, MX6 type hexahalides. 16th group elements reaction with halogen MX4 type tetrahalides, MX6 type hexahalides. These are the tetrahalides. These are the hexahalides. Two types of halides, hexahalides and tetrahalides. Okay, here we'll discuss the example and structure of these tetrahalides. Okay, structure and hybridization of these tetrahalides. Okay, example, suppose for example oxygen. Okay, oxygen forms different okay halides. Okay, here it is belongs to only sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium, but oxygen form different okay halogen, different halides. Oxygen okay reacts with fluorine, forms oxygen difluoride, dioxygen difluoride. Due to the okay oxygen only forms difluoride and dioxide difluoride due to the anomalous behavior of oxygen, and due to the absence of d orbitals okay oxygen forms okay, only these two halides. Okay, we don't have the OCl2, OCl2, OBr2 like that. We have only OF2 and O2F2. Why? Okay, fluorine is more electronegative than oxygen, but chlorine is less electronegative than oxygen. That's why okay chlorine, oxygen not reacts with the chlorine. Okay, here oxygen only reacts with the fluorine, and forms two types of oxides, two types of fluorides. One is OF2. OF2 means oxygen difluoride. O2F2 that means dioxygen difluoride. Okay, why oxygen exhibit these two only? Okay, due to the anomalous behavior of oxygen. We'll discuss anomalous behavior of oxygen okay after this chemical properties. Okay, here okay, but here sulfur forms tetrahalide SF4, SF6 like that only. Okay, selenium tetrachloride, okay, selenium hexafluoride, okay, hexafluoride, tetrafluoride and hexafluoride. Here tetrafluoride, selenium hexafluoride like that only. We have different okay, we have the different halides, and here the reactivity of these halides okay here depends on electronegativity of an element. Fluorides are more reactive than chlorides. Okay, chlorides are more reactive than bromides. Bromides are more reactive than iodides. Okay, this is the reactive. That means sulfur hexafluoride more reactive than sulfur hexachloride. Sulfur tetrafluoride more reactive than sulfur okay tetrachloride. Okay, just this is about the tetrahalides and hexahalides. We'll discuss structure and geometry of this one. Okay, before that sulfur okay due to the typical nature of sulfur forms different okay here halides with the chlorine. Sulfur forms sulfur monochloride, disulfur dichloride, okay, sulfur trichloride, sulfur pentachloride. Okay, sulfur pentachloride. Sulfur forms these types of okay halides due to the typical nature of sulfur. Okay, sulfur forms these chlorides. Okay, these are the common halides of 16th group elements. These are the individual halides of oxygen. These are the individual okay halides of sulfur only. Okay, here we'll discuss the structure of sulfur. Okay, sulfur tetrafluoride and sulfur hexafluoride. Structure of sulfur tetrafluoride SF4 and SF6. Hybridization and structure. Okay, SF4. Okay, sulfur outermost electronic configuration. What is the atomic number of sulfur? Sulfur 16. Outermost electronic configuration is 3s2, 3p4 and 3d0. 3s2, 3p4, 3d0. Okay, here 2 electrons. Here Okay, here 1, 1, 1 and 1. 4 electrons finish. And here 0, no electrons. Okay, here how many fluorines are there? 4 fluorines are there. Here how many lone electrons are there? Okay, how many lone electrons are there here? Outermost electronic configuration of sulfur, only 2 lone electrons are there. So, one of the electron excited from 3p orbital to 3d orbital. One of the electron excited from 3p orbital to 3d orbital. Okay, that we called what? That we called first excited state electronic configuration. Here I am writing sulfur first excited state outermost electronic configuration. What is that? 3s2 and here 3p3 and here 3d1. Okay, here 2 electrons. Okay, here 3 electrons. 1, 2, 3. And here 1 electron. Okay, here we have the 4 lone electrons. 1, it reacts with fluorine, it reacts with fluorine, it reacts with fluorine, it also reacts with fluorine. Okay, it forms 4 bonds with fluorines and we have the 1 lone pair. This is the lone pair. This is the lone pair. Okay, how many orbitals are involved here? How many orbitals? 1 s orbital and 3 p orbital and 1 d orbital. sp3 dehybridization. sp3 dehybridization. Here sp3 dehybridization. Okay, sp3 dehybridization 1 lone pair. sp3 dehybridization 1 lone pair. Okay, here we'll see the structure of that one. Okay, here I am writing geometry. Okay, 4 na? Okay, right, just here sulfur. Okay, fluorine, 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 fluorine. Actually, this is square planar structure. Okay, due to the 1 lone pair, okay, here we have the bond like this. This we called as square pyramid. It exhibits square pyramid. It exhibits the square pyramid structure. Square pyramid structure. This is about the okay structure of SF4. Structure of SF4. Okay, structure of SF4. Okay, this is about the discussion of the SF4. Then in continuation, we'll discuss the structure of SF6. SF6. Okay, structure of SF6. Okay, sulfur, ground state, outermost electronic configuration. What is that? Already we discussed that one. Okay, here 3s2, 3p4, 3d0. 3s2 means here 2 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here 3d0. 3d0. Okay, this is the ground state outermost electronic configuration. Ground state outermost electronic configuration of sulfur. Okay, how many fluorines are there here? 6 fluorines. That means we need 6 lone electrons in outermost. How many are there? Only 2. Okay, first electron get excited from 3p orbital to 3d orbital. Then we have 4 lone electrons. That means it reacts with 4 fluorines only. Then one more electron get excited from 3s orbital to 3d orbital. That means that we called second excited state. First electron, first excited state. If second electron get excited from 3s orbital to 3d orbital, that we called as second excited state electronic configuration. Sulfur, second excited state outermost electronic configuration. What is that? 3s1, 3p3, 3d2. one electron jumped from 3s to 3d. Okay, one electron jumped or excited from 3p from 3d. Okay, here one electron, here one electron, one. How many lone electrons are there? 6. Okay, one reacts with fluorine, second reacts with fluorine, third reacts with fluorine, fourth and fifth, sixth reacts with fluorines and form SF6 molecule. When the formation of the SF6 molecule, how many orbitals are involved here? Okay, 6 orbitals. Okay, here 2, 1, 3, 3 plus 3, 6. 6 orbitals involved means 1s. Okay, P, 3, D, 2. No lone pairs. See here, any lone pairs are there? No lone pairs. No lone pairs. sp3d2 hybridization. No lone pairs. sp3d2 hybridization means, okay, geometry is octahedral. Geometry is octahedral. Okay, first write the as it is just square planar type. Okay, and here sulfur. Central atom is sulfur. Here 4 corners, 6 corners. Okay, fluorine occupies the 6 corners. 6 corners. Okay, and here. This we called as octahedral. Octahedral structure. Octahedral structure of SF6, sulfur hexafluoride. No lone pairs, sp3d2 hybridization. Okay, here and here sulfur hexafluoride forms in second excited state. Sulfur tetrafluoride forms in first excited state of sulfur. Here second excited state of sulfur. This is about the structure of, okay, halides, different halides. Okay, tetrahalides and hexahalides. Tetrahalides and hexahalides of 16th group elements. And here in continuation we'll discuss these are the chemical properties of sulfur. Chemical properties of sulfur and 16th group elements. Okay, here we'll discuss oxides. What is the meaning of oxide? What is the meaning of oxide? An oxide. And classification of oxides. First, today we will discuss classification of oxide based on the nature. Before that, first we will discuss what is oxide. Oxide. A binary compound of oxygen, with an element we called as oxide. Okay, the binary compound of an oxide with an element we called as oxides. Okay, here I am taking general. M reacts with oxygen and forms MO2 or M2O2, MO3, M2O4, MO or any other. This we called as, this is the binary compound of an oxygen with an element we called as oxides. Okay, here we have the two types of classifications. Okay, here two types of classification. What are those? One is classification of an oxides based on the nature. And second one is based on the oxygen content. Okay, here I wanted to discuss about the classification of oxides based on the nature. Based on the nature of oxides. Based on the nature oxides, okay, classified. Oxides are classified into 4 types. Oxides were classified into 4 types. One is acidic oxides, basic oxides, and here amphoteric oxides, and neutral oxides. Neutral oxides. Based on the nature, oxides were classified into 4 types. One is acidic oxide and basic oxide, amphiteric oxide and neutral oxides. Okay, all non-metallic oxide. First we discuss acidic oxides. All non-metallic oxides are acidic oxide. That means from the carbon group, that means 14th group 2. Boron trioxide also one of the acidic oxide, but very weak acidic oxide. Okay, here non-metallic. Okay, 13th group, 14th group, 15th group, 16th group, 17th group oxides are acidic oxides or acidic. All those are the non-metals. So all those oxides are simply considered as a acidic oxides. Okay, these converts blue litmus paper into red litmus. These converts blue litmus into red litmus, and when these are dissolving in a water, it forms acids. So for example, more strength oxide forms strong acid, less strength oxide forms okay, weak acid. Suppose for example, boron trioxide forms boric acid, it is a weak acid. And for example, chlorine heptoxide forms perchloric acid, that is the strong acid. Okay, here I want to write an example for this. Okay, boron trioxide, okay, sulfur trioxide, carbon dioxide. Okay, here carbon dioxide, nitrogen trioxide, nitrogen pentoxide. Okay, so many examples. Chlorine monoxide, chlorine trioxide, chlorine heptoxide. All these are the acidic oxides. All these, when these are dissolved in a water, forms an acid. This is about the acidic oxide. And these are easily reacts with the base, form the salt water. Acidic oxides reacts with base and form the salt and water. This is about the acidic oxide. Then in continuation we'll discuss basic oxide. Basic oxide means these converts red litmus into blue litmus. All metallic oxides are basic oxide. Okay, all metallic oxide means first group elements. What are the first group elements? Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Okay, except hydrogen, remaining all form the basic oxide. Lithium oxide, okay, sodium oxide, potassium oxide, rubidium oxide, cesium oxide. Okay, beryllium oxide, except beryllium oxide. Beryllium amphiteric, aluminum also amphiteric. Okay, here beryllium, magnesium oxide, basic, magnesium oxide, okay, calcium oxide, barium oxide, all those are the basic oxide. Beryllium oxide and aluminum oxide, okay, aluminum oxides are the amphiteric oxides. Except those two, okay, remaining all are the basic oxides and acidic oxide. Okay, here lithium oxide, okay, here sodium oxide, and here magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, first group and second group, except beryllium oxide. First group and second group oxides are basic oxide. Why these are basic oxide? When these are dissolved in a water, form the base. That's why we called as basic oxide. Okay, here amphiteric oxide means, and one more thing, basic oxides are reacts with acid and form the salt and water. Amphiteric oxide means the oxide which are reacts with acid and base, we called as amphiteric oxides. Example for amphiteric oxide, beryllium oxide is the amphiteric oxide, aluminum trioxide is also amphiteric oxide, tin trioxide also amphiteric oxide. All these are the amphiteric oxides. These are easily reacts with base and acid. Base and acid forms salt and water. Forms salt and water. Alumina means aluminum trioxide. Okay, it reacts with hydrochloric acid, it reacts with aluminum trioxide, reacts with the hydrochloric acid, forms aluminum trichloride along with the water. Okay, aluminum trioxide reacts with the sodium hydroxide, forms Na2Al O2, sodium meta-aluminate along with the water. Okay, here AlCl3, Na2Al O2, sodium meta-aluminate, both are the salts, water. Okay, here alumina acts as a base. When it reacts with acid, it acts as a base. When it reacts base, it acts as a acid. When it reacts with acid, for example, alumina reacts with acid, now it acts as a base. Here alumina reacts with sodium hydroxide, now here it acts as a acid. It acts as an acid. Okay, forms salt and water. This oxide reacts with base and as well as acid. That's why we called as amphoteric oxide. This is the third type of oxide. Neutral oxide. Okay, these are neutral towards acid and base. That means these are not reacts with the acid and base. These are not reacts with the acid and base. Such oxides we called as neutral oxide. Example for neutral oxides. Okay, so many examples are there. Okay, in chemistry. Okay, here I am writing some simple examples. Nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide. Okay, nitric oxide, NO we called as nitric oxide, N2O, nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide, CO, carbon monoxide. These are the neutral oxide. This is about the simple classification of oxides based on the nature. Based on the nature, oxides were classified into 4 types. What are those? One is acidic oxide, second one is basic oxide, third one is amphoteric oxide, fourth one is neutral oxide. What are acidic oxides? These are reacts with base. All non-metallic oxides are acidic oxide. What are basic oxide? These are metallic oxides. These are easily reacts with the acid and form the salt and water. Amphoteric oxide. These are easily reacts with the acid and base. Okay, neutral oxide. These are neutral toward the acid and base. That means not reacts with any acid or base. Example for neutral oxides. Okay, nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide. In examination point of view, 1 mark question. Okay, give an example for the acidic oxide or basic oxide or amphoteric oxide or neutral oxide. They may ask 1 mark question from this topic. Okay. Next video we'll see based on the oxygen content. Classification of oxides based on the oxygen content. Thank you.